Welcome to another episode of the Successful and Single podcast. My name is J1. I am the director of hip hop for Pandora, program director for SiriusXM Pandora Now. I'm educated. I'm a homeowner. I have good credit, no kids, and I am single as out here. But that's what we're here to discuss, why men and women like myself are single, especially here in Atlanta or wherever you're at. And there's nothing wrong with being single. Like, we're not knocking it. We're not bitter about it. But we want to have some conversations and explore and get a better understanding of like what's really going on and hopefully help somebody in the process. So that's what this podcast is about, like successful single men and women, which brings me to my guest, somebody I've known for like 10 years and I just think is a really dope person on all fronts.
Thank you.
So I'm going to let you introduce yourself and just say your name and go down the list of like great accomplishments and things that you got going on.
My name is Melita, also known as Melita the Mogul. I have my own company, CEO, founder of Mogul Mentality, a music management company. I'm vice president of A&R at Warner Records. I have Airbnb investments. I have investments in property in Baltimore, which is where I'm from. Yeah, I have a great credit score too. I have an 800.
and you are single.
Yeah, I'm single. Yeah.
It's all good. So this is the question that I hate to get asked, but we're going to ask it for the purpose of this podcast. Why are you single?
I don't know. I think I'm picky. Not even picky. I have a low tolerance. That's what I'll say. Okay. Because at the end of the day, it's not just about money with me. I think a lot of men, they think that they can just offer money and not time and not. It's like you have to come with everything with me because I'm going to come with everything.
So is it by choice or is it just because like you said, it's because you're picky and the guy hasn't come correct?
They haven't come correct. And then at times I'm in my own zone, and when I'm in my own zone, I don't need any distractions.
Yeah. So you are open to having like in a relationship if it's the right situation.
It has to be like, super right, or else I could just be by myself.
So I know, working in our industry, it can be very challenging to date, given the schedules, people not really understanding or being secure in what we do. Dating it inside and outside the industry is a challenge. I've gone back and forth with either like trying to do one or the other, and it just doesn't turn out well. What are some of the challenges for you as far as dating, especially like given everything that you're doing? You're very successful. Like you said, you got your own, so money doesn't impress you. But what are the challenges of dating for you?
I mean, when you work in the music industry, like I feel like men are the new women. Like, they want to be catered to more than women now. Wow. I don't, and you don't think so? You don't look at it like I've seen.
Speak on it.
I've seen the posts like from like Justin LeBoy, like why don't women do this for men? And this is like y'all are supposed to be providers. Y'all are supposed to be like the strong person, the protector, like. And it's just now y'all want us to do everything. Y'all want us to be halfway with everything. So then when you have this assertive woman, you're like, oh, why are you coming at me like this? But it's like, aren't we meeting halfway? So, I mean, what's up? I mean, and a lot of the challenges are, just basically people wanting to be in the industry. So you have to be careful. That's why sometimes I do think it's easier to date within the industry. Okay. Because they understand. Like, you have to understand that I may come home at 2 a.m. and I'm not doing anything. I'm just working, or I may have to leave out of the blue. And I feel like a lot of people don't understand that, because if you have somebody who works a 9 to 5, they think, okay, well, I leave at this time, I'm home at that time, when that's not how the schedule works. And then I work in a male dominated industry. Well, it's actually changing, by the way.
It is changing
a lot.
You guys are flipping the script.
We're not playing.
Y'all are running stuff right now.
But a lot of people don't like, their women being around a bunch of successful guys. So you just got to be careful with everything. And then a lot of guys just want to be the star of the show, and it's just like, well, in my word, I'm the star. So, so it's just different reasons. This is a lot of challenges actually, when you really think about it.
So like dating inside the industry, for me, like I've tried it. My hesitation on it is, not that I'm intimidated by the women or anything like that. It's like, what if it goes wrong and I still have to do business with that person? Because, the industry is small. Very. Especially like here in Atlanta, you're going to run into people all the time eventually and stuff like that. So that's why I'm just like 1 foot in, 1 foot out as far as dating somebody in the industry. But you said you find it kind of easier. Why?
Because they understand, like, if you date somebody in the industry, doesn't mean they like agree to it, but if they've been through it or they're around it, they know like, yeah, you may have to go to LA tomorrow, like,
right.
or you may be busy and you may be exhausted and you may come home and you just having a bad day because we got to deal with a bunch of politics all day.
True.
So, or crazy artists or whatever. You're dealing with so much shit, and when you come home, sometimes you're not mentally there.
Right.
And they understand that, like, because they may be a manager or they may be an A&R or CEO, whatever, and they're like, okay, I get it because I just had that day yesterday.
Now, you know, men do have egos, especially in the music industry.
Yes.
So do you feel like some of them have fragile egos and see you almost as competition? Like they got
Yes. Yeah, and it's crazy. It's really scary almost.
Why is that?
I mean, because here's the thing, like at first there was always like a woman in the crew, like, you know, all the time. But now it's like we are the women are creating the crews.
That's right.
So I think that's why they're more like, oh, like, because we're getting put on a pedestal now. And we actually do work. Like all the women I know work their ass off, like no joke, from sun up to sundown. Like, and I see men just lollygagging. Yeah. And we run circles around them, and the fact that people are seeing that now it's giving them a run for their money.
Yeah, I mean that's so true. And I used to always say men are sometimes can be the biggest groupies of them all. People say, oh,
they want to be in a section,
right? Women just like a guy with some money in some section. Like a lot of guys do too. Don't get it twisted. They be the main.
They'll push you out the way.
Right, exactly.
You don't even have a place to sit. Like, it's crazy.
Oh man. So do you find that like men are intimidated by you? Like do men find it hard to approach you and stuff?
Yeah, I have resting bitch face. And I don't even notice. So yeah, I don't know if that's the reason why, but people do say I look mean. But I'm not mean. But I am very transparent.
Yes, you are.
But
but I appreciate that.
But yeah, people are intimidated, but I don't know why. And I've heard that guys have said that to me, like, you're intimidating. But I guess it's because I'm just like boom, 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 boom. Like I want everything a certain way, type of shit.
Okay. So what do you look for in somebody that you can actually consider dating and stuff like that? What qualities or how should they approach you?
I mean, I think they have to be like, you could be successful, but you have to be laid back. You can't be very like loud and obnoxious and all in the camera. Like, you can't be a Diddy. Like, and me and Diddy we're birthday twins, so that's why it just don't work. It wouldn't work. I just need somebody who's like laid back, and because since I'm so like assertive, like you need that healthy balance. Like somebody like, girl, whatever. Like you need that. And then, you know, just understanding time. Like, it's not just about buying things. It's more so like, you know, when can we create that time and that quality time that's needed, because we're always running in circles in this business all day long. So it's just like, sometimes you just need that. Let's just watch TV tonight. Like, let's just watch a movie, whatever. Like, you need those things, because at the end of the day, like, we're all over the place.
Now, speaking of time, how much time do you think you should be like talking to somebody or getting to know somebody before you get into a relationship? Because like with people like us in our careers and stuff, especially when you start leveling up, time is a premium, you know? So like for me personally, yes, I believe in not rushing into a relationship, but at the same time, I can't be like, you know, going back and forth with a person for 6, 7, 8 months and we trying to figure stuff out. Like, my brain don't work like that. I don't know if that's the right approach, but what's your approach? I'm trying to find the balance between the two.
I'm about to say you have to, because you don't want to go too fast and then you don't want to move too slow and the person just leaves.
Right.
But then you don't want to skip steps either, because then you're starting to find out stuff once you get in a relationship that you may not like about the person. So I don't know. I think you got to spend as much time as possible before even saying yeah. Like I have to sleep with the person like at night. Like, let me just see like if I can even wake up next to you. Like, because I may not like you when I wake up. Like, you know.
Do you think trips are a good way to actually get to know a person? I mean, not like off the rip, but if y'all get into that level where you're about to be serious and stuff, and it says, okay, let's go away for a weekend. It don't have to be nowhere exotic, but like, let's go to Miami or let's go to PR or something like that.
I think so, because it's less noise. You're less distracted. You're just there together. So it's like anything goes then. and you're stuck with that person. It's like Survivor. So, I mean, and then if it goes wrong, you just come back home and don't talk to them again.
That's real. That's real. So, I know you got your own and everything like that. Is it necessary for like a person to approach you that they have their own, or like, let's say they're not as financially stable as you? You know what I'm saying? Like, your face said it all.
I mean, I don't know, because I just feel like men are so insecure that if you're not as financially stable as I am, you'll feel some type of way. Because then you don't want me to feel like I'm running the household, because like I said, I already have an assertive personality. Right. So you want to feel like you have one up on me. I know how guys' egos are. So if you don't have financial, it's like, yeah, it's gonna be bad.
Yeah. Yeah, that's real. Now, do you feel like you would be where you're at today? Let's say if you were like in a long-term relationship, or you got married, or had kids and stuff like that, because, I don't know what your friend circle is, but for me, like a lot of the people who I came up with, they're married now. They got kids and full grown families and stuff. Like, I mean, prime example, Holiday and Infamous and all that. Scream. These are guys who I came up. We were all single, DJing, running the streets, and now I look up like, yo, man, like I got to take my kids to Disney World and stuff like that.
I think it's dope though.
I think it's awesome, but I think like for me, would I still be in the same position or moving around like I'm moving if like I went that route early on? So I'm asking you kind of the same thing. Do you think you would be the mogul that you are right now if you had, settled down a little bit earlier in your life?
That's something I struggle with, honestly. That's a good question, because I always say people always ask women the same questions on panels. And I just feel like that's the battle that we really have, because it's just like, all of the older women now I see are having kids and settling down, but at the same time, they're like, it's a lot. Like, it's just so much, because we have to carry the kid. Right. We have to breastfeed the kid. We have to nurture the kid. A guy can just kind of do what they want, but we actually have to, bear the child. So, I mean, and I'm 29 now, so I'm like, damn, I don't want it. My mother had me at 17, so I'm like, but she can go live her life now. She's good. I look out for my mom, whatever, like, so she's good. But it's just like, now I'm like, if I have a kid at 35 or 38, what would that look like? Can I even run after my child? Like, am I gonna want to play and go down the slide? Like, am I gonna be tired? Because you're already exhausted. Yeah. But I think if you have a great partner, I think you can accomplish anything, and that's a nanny too.
and a nanny. So I mean, again, that brings me to my next question, and I'm glad you brought it up. Do you feel like you can have it all, like the career, the success, the family, the money, the relationship? Can you have the Obamas type relationship and stuff?
Yes, but not all at the same time.
Ooh,
they didn't. Yeah, you can have it all. I think you can definitely have it all, but just not all at once. So right now, when you're building your career and stuff like that, now that when you start reaching, some of your goals or whatever, now it's like, okay, now I can transition to this, and now I can have that healthy balance of, my personal life and my career.
When do you think that you get to that point?
I mean, when you're goal oriented, you never feel like it's enough.
Exactly.
But I just feel like you'll know when you meet the person. You'll know, because you'll just be like, you know what? Let's just do it.
There it is, right there. Well, listen, whoever you end up with will be a very lucky, fortunate man. And how can they follow you, or how can some of these bold men slide up in your DMs?
You can follow me on everything at Melita the Mogul.
There it is. Well, thank you for checking out the Successful and Single podcast. Once again, my name is J1. You can follow me at PosterChildJ1. Till next time, be safe and keep God first.